Hey guys, it's Aubrey with Muttley Plans. I hope that y'all are having a fantastic week. It is the 29th of October, and I figured I would do kind of a special video where I show you all of the pins in my pin collection. For right now, because I do technically have one on the way. But anyway, I know that I did this, I think either late last year or earlier this year, but I wanted to do something kind of special because this is actually my 100th video on YouTube, so I'm pretty excited about that. And so I wanted to do kind of a big video. Anyway, so you probably don't want to hear all about that. But yes, this is kind of my quote unquote pin case. Truthfully, not a lot of pins stay in this pin case because I use basically all of my pins. And I'll kind of, there is an asterisk, and when I get to those pins, I'll tell you what that asterisk is. But for the most part, I use every single one of my pins. I haven't even counted up how many pins I have, but my little pin case is this cigar box that I got for like $3 at a cigar store. Hence this, and then this right here, the tobacco company. I do not smoke or anything like that, but my husband wanted a cigar because he likes to do that occasionally. And I was in there, and the sampler cigar boxes that they sell for $3 after they don't have any cigars in them is basically perfect to keep pins in. Now, obviously, like I said, I write with basically all of my pins. There's dog hair. And so they don't actually stay in here all the time, but I think as my as this grows, as my collection grows, I will be probably switching them out, or if a pin gets retired or anything like that. And I just remembered I have one more, my little redheaded stepchild right here. Anyway, so this is really all my pins now. I don't really know how many I have, so let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 14 pins currently, which is a lot in my estimation. But yeah, I want to talk through all of my pins with y'all. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it over safely out of frame, but to the side. And then I'm going to move this here. And this is just a mitered square with some dog hair on it, because we do have 4 dogs. But this is a mitered square that I knit. It's nothing special. I haven't even weaved in any ends or anything. But I knitted it as just like a practice knit. And then I was like, you know what? That's something I can lay my pins on. So you've probably seen it in several of my videos. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to first cover, and I'll move these out of the way, my pins that are either retired or retiring, because I'm going to spend probably the least amount of time. So this is my very first fountain pen. It is a Ferris wheel press carousel. It does have a nib in it still. It's a medium nib, but as you can see, I don't have a cartridge in it. I don't necessarily have anything against this pen. I actually liked it quite a bit when I wrote with it. My complaint now, having other pens, is that this is a very, very light pen. But the reason it is retired is because I'm too cheap, lazy, insert whatever word you want, to buy a new cartridge for it, cartridge converter. Because it got to the point where, like, I would probably have to re-ink it once a week, because for a while this was my only pen. And so in doing that, I guess that cartridge seal just didn't do well. And so it started leaking quite badly to the point where I'd be writing and I would just have like whatever color of ink going all over my hands. And so that's why this was retired. So I haven't written with it in almost a year, something like that. Not because it's a bad writer, like the nib's smooth and everything. It's just I haven't bought another cartridge for it. And truthfully, like I've got other pens in my possession that I like better now. So yeah, so there is that one. The other one that is most likely going to be retired, I'm so sad. And you'll hear about this in my inked review coming up, but it's going to be my Natami, which stinks, and I'm still on the fence about it, but I don't know, guys. Like, so I think it's just because the cartridge is worn out as well, and so it's not sealing well. And like I went to, like, it did this last month, and so that's why there's this ring of brown, because it like puked, spit things out the nib end. And so like one day I had just a bunch of ink chilling in the cap, and you can see that it's kind of done it a little bit again, and I can't get it cleaned down. I soaked it and it just didn't work. And then I went to ink it up a second time because I was like, oh, maybe it was a fluke, stuff like that. And it did the same thing. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but like in here, the ink has actually seeped in. So I don't know if it's a converter issue or what. I'm kind of sad. I'm wanting to figure it out. I'm hoping if I get more pen knowledge that maybe I will be able to fix whatever ails it, because it's a great writer. It's a Natami Clear and Rose Gold, and it does well. Like, I haven't written with this all month. Well, since the beginning of the month. Okay, fine, it's gonna make a liar of me, but it's not far off, see? So, but usually it handles ink very well, and honestly the only problem I've had with it is this. And I don't know if it's because this is really realistically a $15 pen and it's just cheaply made, or if it's my error or just a fluke, I don't know. But this is one that I'm contemplating retiring if I can't figure out what's wrong with it. So I think I'm going to put it up for a couple months, and then maybe when I'm feeling adventurous, I'll pick it back up and try to troubleshoot it when I'm in the frame of mind for it. All right, my red-headed stepchild. This is my Jinhao 100. In the colorway Guava, it has a extra fine nib and a lot of glitter in it. So I haven't written a whole lot with this one this month because this is the first ink I've had in it, and it's, well, okay, fine, make a liar. See, me and this pen have a love-hate relationship. I think it waits until it can, like, prove me wrong. I don't know. But anyway, which is why it has not been retired. Because in all honesty, after I figured out the nib issue, because I first had a medium nib in it, then I had a fine. Both of them were scratchy. And so I wound up, by some fluke, which I have a whole video over, putting an extra fine Jinhao nib in. And it was smooth. It was like, no, I'm a perfect little angel. I don't know what you're talking about. But so, I mean, we kind of, you know, made up, I guess. It is a pretty pen. In my opinion, when I bought it, I was like, wow, this looks like Christmas. And of course, my husband was like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. That does not look like Christmas at all. But I fell in love with it. It's got this little sparkly green. I think it's a finial. And then it's got this cute little like horse and chariot right there, and I love the gold trimming. It just looks really cute, and it's like got the dark pink but then some light pink, and then the dark pink grip. And I mean, I'm just a sucker for pins that have just are trimmed in gold, and I don't know, I like it. I definitely like the color of it. The writing experience is much better. I will say I have been writing with some other pins over this, partially because of the ink. I have it inked up with Vinta Isabella, which is generally a very pretty ink, but it's been giving, I think, pretty much every pen I've ever put it in some trouble, which is disappointing, but yeah, so I've kind of been avoiding it. Like, I think I even filled it up because I was like, I'm going to use it. Okay, I filled it up like 3/4 of the way, and I haven't used any, which is crazy because I'm in school, so I take down my notes by hand. It's a whole process. But anyway, and so like I color code my notes, and you know, just like you would have several different colors like this of these pens, I just do that with my fountain pens, and it's great. I go through ink like crazy. I fill things up, depending on the size of the cartridge, multiple times. I just haven't been using it. I'm going to ink it up with a different color next month to see if that sparks more usage, because this is now, having figured out the nib issue, a much better writing experience for me personally. All right, so I'm going to bring, if I have two of anything, I'm bringing them both out just to kind of talk through them. So these are my Mahjons, and I have said it so many times, and I will say it probably a million other times, but if you are on a budget, which I totally get, like I'm here for the budgeting, these Mahjons, this is an N8, I believe. Yes, they have a cheat code right there. So a Mahjon N8 and then a Mahjon N7. Both of these pins are less than 30 bucks. Pre-tariffs, they were like $20 to $25 range. Worth it. If you're like, I just can't afford $50, $60 for a pen, these are your guys. Like, the writing experience is fantastic. Yeah, it's just great. Like this one, the nib is very soft. This one, the nib is a little bit more firm on my N7. But I like the writing experience of both. This one has more metal in it, like in the body, right? And it has an ink window. And this one's more light, but honestly, like I like them both. To the point where this is always inked in red, obviously, and this one's always inked in blue. And if I'm needing one of those two colors, I always grab for it. Like, and it's great. Like, they have not been uninked since I got them, because they're just great. And I've had this one over a year. My husband bought it for me. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to set this one over to the side because distractions. So this, like I said, is a Mahjong, or I'm so sorry. I lied. These are Hongdians. See, I should have used my cheat code right here. Hongdians. I'm not going to cut that out because it is what it is. But anyway, so Hongdian, it is an N8 though. I did get that right. So this was like my second fountain pen, or third fountain pen maybe. I like it a lot. It's this beautiful red. I love the leaf leaves that are etched in here. I love that it's rose gold. This red color is fantastic. And it is a medium nib, and it's got that gold nib. I love it. It just looks so classic, and writing with it's phenomenal. It's inked up with Jacques Urbain Rouge Granat, which, if you know, that is my most favorite red ink ever. It is a cartridge feel, and I mean, I love it. I don't have to re-ink it a whole lot because, I mean, it's red ink, and I do not use that as my main color. I use it in my notes as like a, you know, hey, looky over here type situation. But Hongdian N8, if you're looking for, oh, and it's got the leaf right here. I think these are maple leaves. But the detail and then just how this pen looks, I love it. I will use this pen until it is unusable, which hopefully will be a long, long time. As far as I can tell, it's well made, and I don't have to worry about it too terribly much. But anyway, Hongdian N8. And then I have my Hongdian N7, okay? So the difference between the N7 and the N8 is that this one seems to be a little bit more sturdy. It's got a metal cap. It does have this wonderful gold edging with these peacock, which I love. I think the name of this is like teal peacock, but if you look, it's got peacock. I'm not sure. But right there. And then it's also got a peacock, or I don't know, a little squiggly flower on the finial there. And it's just great. So differences other than the weight, because this has a metal cap, a metal grip, and then a metal back here, right? My one gripe is like, why did we do the silver? With all of the gold, we couldn't have had a gold one. But anyway, a gold nib. But this is a medium nib. It is inked up currently with Ferris Wheel Press Bluegrass Velvet. That is a perfect match for this pen. It's been inked up in that for probably 3 or 4 months now. This pen is a piston fill. So what that means is that it's like a TWSBI, honestly. It just doesn't have that clear body. It does have this ink window. I just filled it up. That's why you can't really see it, but it's right here. Great pen. I love the detail of both of these pens. Like, just gorgeous. And the price point, I can't complain about it. Like, it's a really good price point for the product. And I mean, I know on here, like, I love all of these collections where you've got like all of these expensive pens, you know, that are $300 or $400 or $500, sometimes $1,000. I know for me, when I was getting into this, like, I mean, obviously those pens would be goals, but sometimes where you're at financially and realistically, you just can't get that. But you still want quality, you still want something beautiful. And I feel like Hongdian N8 and N7 has achieved that for us. And so I'm very appreciative to this brand and just like the product that they brought, I guess. Anyway, commercial over. I'm joking. That's totally my opinion for free. I'm not paid and all yada yada, right? But I really do love that brand, even though I got the name wrong initially. Okay, moving on. So I'm going to pull out 2 pens, and I always get them wrong. Yes, I should write them down, but I don't. So this one I used to use at work every day. This is the Moon Man. So I believe this is the Mahjong, right? Mahjong. I'll put it up if it's wrong. But it is the A1. No, sorry, it's the A2. My words. Anyway, as you can see, I had to do a little bit of like surgery or repair on it. This is a plastic barrel right here, and I've got a little bit of a crack right here. So I used to write with this every day. I used to work as an athletic trainer in a clinic where I took all of my notes by hand, and then I would sit down in the afternoon after I'd seen all my patients and type up my notes, right? So I would go through a whole ink cartridge on a busy week, which most weeks were. I would go through a whole one of these in 1 week. Sometimes sooner than that, you know. This pen has been through it. It is a extra fine nib. That's the only Mahjong nibs for these, the A2 and A1 press. That's the only nib size I've seen for them, but they work really well. I'm not usually an extra fine person, but these worked so well, and they're workhorse pens. On this one, I think I have not been using this one in particular, and it's because I've cleaned it, but for whatever reason, there must be a clog somewhere in the nib. These do have drying out issues, though I will say not as bad as the Jinhao 10s, in my opinion. But this was a great pen. This is one that if I can't get the nib fixed, I might retire it as well. But we'll see. I still have hope because I really like how quick and easy it is to just click it on, click it off. So we'll see. But this is my Mahjong. This is really a Mahjong this time. Yes, this one. A2 press. And that, again, is the plastic body. And that leads us into the one that I use every day without fail. And I'm not even kidding. This is my matte black Mahjong A1 press. And it is gorgeous. This is, if I could only have 3 pens, because we can't do just one, the commitment, this would be one of my 3 pens. I mean, it is just so fantastic. I have it inked up with a mix of American Eel, Noodler's American Eel and Jacques Urbane Pearl Nior, which I explained that in my previous video. But anyway, it remains inked with a black ink. I'm not really precious with what type of black ink, as long as it's a black ink in here. I use this to write notes. I use it in my everyday carries. I use it in my planner. It's a fantastic pen. I have not bought a Pilot Vanishing Point, and I honestly, maybe one day I will, not in this colorway. This is it for my matte black fix. But honestly, like, I don't know that I would love a Pilot Vanishing Point at the price point of, on the low end, like 100 plus. Most of them are $168 or something like that, right? I don't see how I could love a Pilot Vanishing Point more than I love this pen, nor can I see how a Pilot Vanishing Point would be more functional than this pen. And just for like transparency on prices, pre-tariffs, this was in the $40 range. So if you take 40 bucks and then you take another product that's like 100 or more, this just, it works, and I like it a lot. And this one was like 30 bucks. I would say if you're wanting it to work like a workhorse, this is still a good pen, but this is definitely the better option. I would do the extra $10 to get this metal body. So, and I'm just curious because I'm definitely one of those pen users. Like, I want to know how much I use. So I ink this up Sunday. It is Wednesday. Yeah, that's how much ink I've used already. Like, I write like crazy with this thing, and it's wonderful. It's comfortable to me. It's got that right amount of weight. I love this pinch right here for the grip. It's great. So, yeah. All right, moving on. I wonder how long this video is going to be. All right, so this is my only Jinhao 10. My husband has more Jinhao 10s than me. No, that's a lie. We have the same, because this is his Jinhao 10 right here, which I'm contemplating stealing, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so I got this Jinhao 10. It is the pearl white with gold. I like my Majan N1 better. Or I'm sorry, A1 better, personally. I know there's a bunch of others who are like, no, this one's better, but I like my Majan better. I don't know what to tell you. This is inked with Diamine Brandy Snap, I believe. I think it's Diamine. I know it's Brandy Snap. Oh, look, it does right. So, one thing with this pen is that, number one, and I showed it a while back, so this is my husband's Jinhao, right? And then this is mine. Like, if you... Am I tripping now? No, it's still sunk in a little bit. It's like just a teeny tiny bit, but that makes all the difference in the comfort level of writing, I feel like. I really am. I'm gonna steal this one. Don't tell my husband. Anyway, so, yeah, this one, the nib doesn't stick out as far, and so it's just not quite as comfortable of a writer for me. And then also, like, don't let that little scribble fool you. Most of the time, this dang thing, if you don't write with it for a few days, it's like, I mean, I don't know, you gotta jump start it or something. I bought the white and gold because I was like, white and gold, it will go with any color I want to put in it. And of course, like, if I put any color other than like a golden brown, I'm like, this just doesn't look right coming out of this pen. So usually Brandy Snap is kind of a new one that I've tried, and I do like it in here. But usually I'll do like Old Gold, KWZ Old Gold, or KWZ Honey is what I like to ink up in here. But it's not a bad pen. It was $20, especially for the money. Again, like with this one and then my Majans, I don't know, like it would have to be like just the perfect color vanishing point for me to like buy a vanishing point, I think, with these pens. I love the functionality because I can just click and then go about writing and all of that. So I definitely appreciate having multiple click pens in my collection. I think this will be my only Jinhao, and truthfully, I think I'm probably not going to buy any more Majans. Just because I can't think of any that I would want, because these are more workhorse pens to me versus fun pens. So, like, they're not ones that I would want to write long letters or journal with. They're more like, okay, this is quick, I'm on the go type deal. Alrighty. So, this is the last type of pen that I have multiples of, but it is my TWSBIs. I have a sincere appreciation for the TWSBI brand. they do run, oh no, it's got a scratch. That's okay. I'll survive. Anyway, so I have a bunch of appreciation for this brand. So, it is a, oh goodness, not a cartridge, not a vac fill. I'll think of it in a second. But anyway, dang, why am I spacing on stuff today? Anyway, I'm so sorry. Anyway, I enjoy the ink capacity. So I had these filled to the brim earlier this month, and they're actually both about the same. I have been writing like crazy. I feel like it doesn't look like it, but generally I will write through one whole TWSBI every month with my notes. The reason that both of these are at half and I haven't written through one whole TWSBI is because both of these held the colors that I wanted to use in my notes the most, and so it kind of actually got split. But I do love these colors. This one, I know right off the bat, is inked with my ink of the year, which is Jacques Urbain Violet Imperial. This one, I believe, is Diamine Earl Grey Tea. I believe. But anyway, so we will start with this one. This was my very first TWSBI that I bought. I think both of these were like $50 to $58, somewhere in there, just because of the edition that they were. I think it's a color thing, not anything else, because other TWSBIs, like their normal like silver trim TWSBIs, tend to run in the $30 to $40 range. So definitely a manageable pen to get, and honestly, I like how they write. They are comfy, all that jazz. So this is my TWSBI Eco Cream and Rose Gold. It is in a medium nib. Right here. It does have a shimmer ink in it. Like I said, it's my ink of the year. I do choose an ink for the year. And Jacques Urbain Violet Imperial is my ink of the year for this year, which just means that like this pen has had no other ink in it ever, actually. So it's going to be really weird when next year comes around and I have to ink it up with something else. Anyway, I'm sure you've probably seen TWSBIs in many videos, so I'm not going to really go over the specs. Like I said, it is a medium nib. I like it. It writes well. It handles the shimmer very, very well. And I just, overall, I'm a huge fan of the brand. My other TWSBI is my TWSBI Espresso Bronze. So it's this dark brown color. Sorry, I just feel like there's stuff all over it, like just sticking to it. Anyway, but I love this. It is, a medium nib as well. I have a love affair with medium nibs. And I mean, they both are just workhorses. Like, I can throw whatever ink I want in them and they still write well. And I'm happy to say the pen that I have on the way is definitely a TWSBI, and I'm super stoked. So, but that's going to be a whole other video. But yeah, so these are my two TWSBIs. I definitely recommend. Like, I feel like they are a bit of a step up, like just quality wise, from my Hongdians. So these, but not a huge step up price wise. Like, it's a $10 to $20 increase. But I feel like you get a whole lot better seal with the TWSBI. Like, I could just leave one of these out, I feel like, for 6 months, come back, pick it up, we still write just fine. I can do a horrible job of cleaning it out and it still work just fine, you know, and it's just the care of TWSBIs is super easy. So yeah, I I definitely recommend if it is within your price category as a pin person. If it's not, that's okay too. Then go for the Hongdians. I do feel like the Hongdians are really, really good for the price point. All right. So this is my biggest regret of buying a pin, honestly. And I hate to say that. So this is my Edison Beaumont. It is not a bad pin. It writes. But it is a 1.1 stub. And why, when I was a newbie to pins, I paid $192 because that's what I paid. This is a secondhand pin. I'm being honest. But why I paid that much for a stub nib when I knew it would literally just be used for headers, I don't know. But I did. I got a stub nib. It does write really well. It handles, see, it's got a bunch of shimmer. It handles shimmer usually well. Although I will say I have Van Diemen's ink in here, and it's the shimmer. And I don't know if you can tell, but this thing is a bit clogged. Which is okay. Well, it's not okay. But I have used it quite a bit. I actually filled this converter a lot, that I used this quite a bit at the beginning of the month for headers in my notes, which is about all you can use a 1.1 stub for. I mean, I think some people write letters, but I'm like, I wouldn't. Anyway, but overall, it's not a bad writer. It's more of just buyer's remorse because, like, I got a pen or a nib that, I mean, I use it sometimes, you know. Now that I'm in school, I use it a lot. When I wasn't in school, I didn't. But it's not a bad pen. It is a fairly comfortable writer, although I will say this, look at the size of this thing. That's a long nib. And so sometimes that gets a little uncomfortable, and I'm not really sure if it's like the proportion of the pin to the nib or what, but it definitely bugs me. And I don't post at all. You can post this. It posts really deep, but that just doesn't feel right to me at all. So I don't ever post any of my pins really, but even this one, because it hits funny. But this is the Edison Beaumont. It actually is still the most expensive pen in my collection, and it's also my biggest regret buying, truthfully. But not a bad pen, just a bad purchase for me as a pen purchaser. And so that's something I would also like to tell people. Like, when you're starting out, the more expensive the pen, like, yeah, you might get better quality than some of your cheap ones, but at the same time, like, you don't have to spend $192 to be happy with your writing experience. Like, if I had to choose between this or one of my Hongdians, my A1 press, or my TWSBIs, like, it wouldn't even be a discussion. Like, this would be out. Buy. Which is sad because it is my most expensive pen. Anyway, moving on, I've got 3 more pens left and I'm super excited. So, this is my 3rd most expensive pen, I think. This is, and I feel, I don't know. I think it's got stuff on it. Anyway, these tend to hang out in my little, in this little 3-pin case. This one and then the other 2 that I'm about to show you, because they are probably my most precious pins. This one is my Esterbrook Estie. It's my one and only that I currently have. It is the Botanical Garden with the gold trim. I think it looks so classic, and I specifically got the Botanical Garden because it is, I mean, I can put whatever color I want. So, I do. Right now it's inked up with Wearing Goals Persephone, which is like a dark purpley shimmer ink. It handles shimmer really well, even though it's a fine nib, so it does have a fine gold nib. It is not an actual gold nib. I don't have any actual gold nib. They're all like, you know, the plated or the fake gold stuff, but I like it. It is a cartridge feel. I do like, oh, I've used quite a bit. That's almost down. Anyway, but it's got a decent sized cartridge in it, and it holds quite a bit of ink. Like, I've been impressed. And I really like this pen quite a bit. When it comes to note writing, I absolutely reach for my TWSBIs just because of the capacity. But if I'm doing any journaling or anything like that, I definitely go for this, or the other two that I'm about to show you. But yeah, I really like this pen a lot. It's a comfy writer. I write it with it unposted, and I'll probably never get rid of it, ever. Because it's just so nice. Writing with the fine nib, I'm usually more of a medium nib gal. However, this has definitely changed my mind about fine nibs. I like how crisp the lines are when writing with this, and it's a joy to write with. It's very comfy. So now I'm going to slide it back into its pen case because, like, I want to make sure it's all safe and sound. And then we will move on to my next one. So this one is very special to me. This is my Franklin Christoph. It is the O2 model in the colorway Sage. I got this, funny story, at the same time that I got this one. So this one was $172, and the only reason I know that is because I was right by my husband when he bought it for me. I love this pen. So unlike the Edison Beaumont, this Franklin Christoph was a fantastic buy. It was secondhand, but I mean, it's wonderful. And that's crazy to me because, like, I usually don't like silver trimming, but here we are. It is a broad nib, which surprisingly, I actually love this nib quite a bit. So it is a broad, and I'm trying to see, yeah, it's got like a tiny bead right there. It is a cartridge feel. I haven't had any issues. Like, I can throw any ink, and I actually had this filled, but I've had to push it down some. I haven't had any problems with it. I can use whatever ink I'm feeling like using, I can put in here. And it's a comfy writer. I don't post it because posting it, like, number one, it just looks goofy to me. And then number two, like, it's not comfy. Whereas this, since it's kind of thins out up here, it just works in my hand better. It's another one with an extra long nib right there, which took a little bit of getting used to for me, but overall, I really like it. It's my most comfortable pen that I have, actually, I think. So 10 out of 10. I love it. And I'm gonna put this is the other one of the others that I put in here. Oh, there we go. And then the last, but certainly not the least, my newest. It's gorgeous. This is the Leonardo Momento Zero in Angel Skin. And this is a pen that I waited 1.5 years for. I think I did an unboxing video. I only got it a couple weeks ago. So like back in the end of September. So I've had it about a month. If you know, basically I saved all year to go to a pin show in Dallas, and then just the way life was lifing at the moment, my husband got sick, all that jazz, and we wound up not going. So I had all of this money saved up because I wanted to get like a small maker pin or something like that at the pin show. And that just didn't happen. And I'd been wanting this angel skin since I got into it. Like, I think I saw it on Karina Loves to Plan and a couple of other channels, and I was just like, it was one of those pins where I was like, oh my gosh, I need that. I would like that. I don't have the money for that, you know. Anyway, and so I kept an eye on it. It's been on my wish list. Originally it was like $160. But then unfortunately after tariffs, it definitely took a bit of a price hike, which I was really sad about. I even contemplated prior to like tariffs and all of that stuff going on, like going ahead and just buying it, because I was like, it's going to get more expensive. But I was like, no, let me be financially responsible and make sure I save the money and all that jazz. And so I didn't. And then it kind of broke my heart a little bit when it went up to $199, which it shouldn't, because there are a lot worse things going on. I understand. This is first world problems. I get it. But anyway, but then, like, so fast forward to September, I looked again just for giggles, because I had the money. I had more than enough money to just buy it outright, right? And the store that I looked at had it on sale, and it was like 180 or something like that, 172. Plus, I had a 10% discount code from Anita Letters, which is a YouTube channel on YouTube. And so I used her discount code, and overall this pin cost like 170 or something like that. So not bad at all. So that's the long story of this pin, and I love it. I've only written with it for about a month. A gripe of mine about it, if there can be any gripe, is that sometimes this doesn't unscrew as smoothly as I think, or it'll catch when I'm rescrewing it. But honestly, not bad. It's a fantastic writer. I have it inked up with Diamine Rosewood. It is the, like I said, Leonardo Memento Zero in the colorway Angel Skin. It is trimmed out in rose gold, which is exactly what I wanted. And it has a medium nib. Now, nib wise, I like this medium nib. I do kind of wish that I had gotten a fine nib, because like I really like the way my Esterbrook writes, and it's a fine nib, and how crisp those lines are. And this one just writes like a regular medium, you know, which is fine. It works perfect for me. But I think from now on, if I'm going to make a higher purchase, a higher dollar amount purchase in a fountain pen, I'm going to go for that fine nib versus the medium. Just because I will, number one, baby these pens, but also number two, like, I like those crisp lines, and I do mainly use these strictly for journaling. I think I have used them once or twice for notes every now and then. It's just, you know, I'm always switching pens and notes, and I don't want to scratch them and all of that. So I don't usually use my more expensive pens for notes. So I think I want fine nib. All of that to say. Now then, I told you the color. I told you what it was trimmed in. Again, it's a medium nib. Something special about this pen that I don't have on any of my other pens, and you may have seen me playing with it, is this blank cap right here. What? That scared me. Anyway, so it's literally like you just twist off this end part right here. Oh no, see, this is why I can't have nice things. And then you can twist your ink cartridge from here. So stick it in and just twist it up and fill up your pen without even taking this body part off. I'm not sophisticated enough to where I trust myself to actually fill up my pin, so I like to just take the whole body off still, and then do like this. But look how gorgeous that is. I mean, it's phenomenal, and it has this beautiful Leonardo Italy on it. Oh, yes. 10 out of 10. Another thing that this pin has that none of my other pins have, and I definitely appreciate it, is that this cartridge actually screws in. So it's not like, oh, I just shove it in. No, we screw it in, and it's not going anywhere. And I appreciate that, especially because I do have those pins that I do like, or did like my Natami, where I'm having issues because the cartridge, like, you have to actually click it in, and I think that's kind of gotten worn out or warped, and that's what's causing my problems. I don't have to worry about that with this pin, and so I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, and I'm gonna put this back in my handy dandy case. Like I said, these pretty much hang out in here all the time, because I'm definitely more precious. This case is a little beat up because I do put it in my bag and take it to school with me every day, regardless of me not using them quite as much as my TWSBIs. I like options and I have commitment issues. So here we are. Hi, my name's Aubrey. Anyway, so yeah, that is all of my pins. Thank you so much for watching this video. Maybe like it if you've made it this far. Subscribe if you haven't. But for sure, regardless of what you do, please let me know down in the comments. Do you have any of these pins? What do you think? Or what are your thoughts on these pins? I would love to hear from you. And I hope that y'all have a fantastic day wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Bye.